Okay, let's do it. Ladies and gents, welcome to one of the finals in the Community Cup. Yes, Warlords is on screen. We'll just remove Warlords real quick. Nobody noticed that. This Community Cup was awesome, man. We had a bunch of different ELO brackets. A lot of people signed up. Really appreciate everyone who played. Sorry, of course, I haven't been able to cast every single game. There was countless games all the time. People were making friends. People were making enemies. Well, mainly friends. And just getting to play the tournament maps that they saw in Titans League and get some experience. In the red, we have Spaz the Adventurer. 15-11 ELO right now, playing as the Japanese. And Spaz the Adventurer, longtime viewer, up against another in Mighty Space Fruit. And Space Fruit playing as the Byzantines. Spaz is playing as the Japanese. Now, does anyone remember what Spaz did last time we covered Spaz? I don't know if that was a high priority watch for you, but it's fascinating to me. It actually has inspired me to maybe make some videos on simplifying your game plan, right? And not trying to play like the pros, because you don't have as much skill. You might not have as much speed as the pros, and some of the things they're doing is not good. Basically, Spaz, every single game went knights. And the opponent made camels. The opponent made pikes. The opponent tried to make archers. The opponent tried to sneak fills. The opponent did a lot of these crazy things all at once. But the combination of like a dozen things struggled to work against a common, like a strict 4 or 5 focus build, which for Spaz is make farms, make TCs and make vills, and make knights. Not that old the strategy in AoE 2, but I'm curious to see if, like, I don't know how Mighty Space Fruit deals with that. Did they prepare for this? Do they know about Spaz? I don't know. It's been like a long community tournament, so they might have paid attention to some of the games. But yeah, Byzantines don't have any eco bonuses like the Japanese do, but they should be better if they don't take damage early against the Japanese. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were in the same group. If they were in the same group and they played against each other before, I would really like to know what the result was there. But yeah, Spaz does a great job at just like kind of playing to their APM. I think Spaz as well is known for being much slower than everyone else. I don't know if that applies here. Yeah, so Spaz is apparently significantly slower, way more relaxed. I mean, that's pretty crazy. That's like a third of the APM of the opponent. So, still 1600. Still made it to the finals here. And Spaz, what happened? Why did my... I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I zoomed in like that. My mouse has been really annoying. Occasionally, the scroll wheel just kind of glitches out on me. And I've tried to fix it a bunch of times. And it was fine for 3 weeks. But now it's getting weird again. Maybe that was it. I like it from Spaz. He is scouting the pond to see if this is where his opponent is for now. Okay, so these players were in the same group in group stage, and Spaz was the only player to win a game versus Space Fruit. Interesting. All right. Good to know. Maps, we haven't really talked about too much. Gold could be an issue here for Mighty Space Fruit. I actually really like that gold, though. Your berries are on the back. Your stone's on the back. Your gold is wallable. You can build right out in front of that. That's not an issue. And Space Fruit planning on clicking up. Couple fishing ships down here. And Spaz. I don't know what's going on with his scout. Spaz? Spaz forgot about the scout for a little while. And Spaz should really be trying to find the opponent here, and Spaz will click up to Feudal. Same times. So nice builds from both of them. How do you get 60 APM this early in the game? What are they doing? Well, they're just, like I said, I think a lot of it is clicking a lot. So, like, let's say you want to go from this house to this wood line. A lot of, like, Spaz probably just clicks that and doesn't touch it anymore. Other people click it like click, 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 click along the way, right? I think Spaz just got very paranoid that the Byzantine player is going to sneak a villager here because the scout from Mighty Space Fruit was just there. That's not happening, though. And we got some villagers on gold right now for Space Fruit. We've got a barracks coming up. There's also a barracks for Spaz. And Spaz is going to go man-at-arms. Dang. So not as advertised. Villagers are going to pull away from the dock here. But man-at-arms, you need to know where your opponent is. And the scouting is so much better here from Mighty Space Fruit. That's huge. Scout of the opponent's dock. Now knows the opponent's going for man-at-arms. That's the dream right there. Japanese are definitely one of the best civs at this. I think Dravidians are slightly better, but Japanese maybe feel more natural with the other aspects. It's pretty even. And there's the militia. But Spaz does not know where the enemy is. So, nice job already from Space Fruit to have been on gold for archers. Space Fruit didn't get loom yet. Oh, no, did get loom. Sorry. Just happens to have 100 gold. But if the man-at-arms just run in, this would still be a lot of quick walling. I think the important thing is that you're consistently moving those man-at-arms to different spots. A common thing you'll see here is players who are defending for man-at-arms get housed a lot because they'll quick wall, but they might forget everything else, right? You got to keep moving here if you're Spaz. And blue tries to bait the man-at-arms into the TC. That's a lot of vills garrisoned. But no vills lost. Spaz, what happened to going scouts, bro? He went scouts every single game last time, and now he's doing different things. You got a range? Should we go playing all standard all of a sudden? Okay. And Mighty Space Fruit is now trying to sneak the villager to snipe the fish. I don't think Red's going to have any clue. I really like how Space Fruit is opened here. Archer opening's been good. Remember, 1,600 elo, right? That is a lot on berries. And it's Japanese man-at-arms right now. But the archers are there. Spaz. And move the man-at-arms maybe back over towards that wood line. We do see skirmishers in that range behind this. Really nice job from both on the idle TC. Less than 25 seconds for both of them right now. House coming up at the perfect time. Yeah, Mighty Space Fruit's kind of locked in right now. I'm liking this. The forward dock's sick. The archer defense is really good. I think a lot of that comes from the scouting earlier. So many people try and maybe push an extra deer. They just don't focus on knowing what the opponent's up to. You have to know when up against the Japanese. Very nice clear. Now, there are a lot of vills moving around doing a whole lot of nothing. There's 0 farms right now for Mighty Space Fruit. Spaz already on 8 farms. So dock is up right now for Space Fruit. Skirms are already knocking on the door. And Space Fruit is panicking here. Can fight against the skirms with the archers, so is going to drop a tower here. Doesn't know what to do. Fletching is in as well for Spaz. I don't hate the tower. Because you don't want to have to deal with this for any other reason. And if you're going to do that, though, you want to counterattack with the archers, which seems to be the play. Stay away from this. Tower takes care of it. Walls take care of it. You're okay. You need farms. This map's about transitioning, not just fish. You need to have farms as well. Which Spaz did a wonderful job of. But Spaz should be thinking, where are those archers right now? If those archers were there. This is where I'd like to see a couple additional skirms just waiting at home. Ooh, there's also weak vills on the berries? I assume from bringing in the boar earlier? Okay, blue sees that. Spaz no reaction. I think Spaz is winning this fight and is focused on that. Attack signal. Time for Spaz to pull away. These vills are all so weak, dude. And Spaz, is Spaz going to see them? Dude's hiding behind the bamboo right now. There we go. Dead. Nice villager kill. Oh, God, but there's a hole. Oh, man, guys, they know the viewers are watching. It's a freaking final, dude. And who cares if there's no prize pool? I mean, this is going to be crazy messy. Nice damage. Vills go down. Blue's fighting back with the economy, but blue also has the fire probably to kill the fish there. And everything Spaz had here goes down. I think it's kind of worth it because that's so much idle time. But yeah, not good you lose it. Blue now fixes the hole. And Spaz chasing down the archers with the skirms. And blue with the pickoff. Sick. Very scrappy. I find it interesting that Spaz added a fire galley over here. I guess Spaz just tried to switch pawns, but Spaz just did not notice this at all. And blue misclicked the house. Blue tried to click past the house, click the house instead. The unit gets stopped. But guys, Spaz has just transitioned into the farm so quickly here. And honestly, he kind of has the perfect setup to go Castle Age into Knights. And blue has made so many skirms. The skirms can have their window now, but the skirms are not going to be very good in 2 minutes once Knights can come out. So I think the Man-at-Arms did an incredible job at making life difficult for blue, and blue wasn't able to focus on any farms. Blue, though, does have this pawn to add some fish. Already added 2, adding another. Still has fish coming out here, too. And honestly, might even be able to add fish here eventually, but... So long-term, things should be better for Space Fruit, if Space Fruit can survive. I'm not in love with the additional Man-at-Arms. Wait, we're going to see longswords? Okay. I mean, if you get armor, if you get longswords, you could shred through these buildings pretty quickly. I'm more of a staple player myself. I'd suggest a couple scouts here. It helps you in other ways. But you are Japanese. In Spaz isn't floating that much food, but could maybe use the market to balance things out. Apply some pressure here. Space Fruit's on the way up. Very quiet in the middle of the map right now because Spaz went to Castle Age with like no army, right? And yeah, it is new patch, so the infantry will be a little bit faster. The 2 archers in the group makes this so good. With skirms, you wouldn't actually threaten the vills immediately. But the 2 archers do. Blue finds that Spaz is fishing over here because that fire's there. And Spaz gets pushed off of that gold. Is in Castle Age. Woodline's now getting harassed as well. And Longsword now on the way for Spaz. Spaz is just going to leave the Woodline. Says, okay, I'll just go to this one now. What about gold, though, man? Oh, this is great, guys. I thought Spaz was going to go deal with this with the longswords, which would give blue time. Blue has no clue this is going to happen, by the way. Spaz is just going to go attack with the longswords. That's a lot of units. 7 units right there. I don't think blue has any clue. Blue never saw the second barracks. Blue is not expecting this. Blue's like, why isn't he attacking me? There are the longswords now. Blue maybe wanted to go siege forward. If there is a hole here, these longswords will win the game. You cannot let these units in here, blue. You cannot. And honestly, Spaz, you need to attack the walls. You need to attack the houses. You need to attack the gates. You got to get through. No! What? What is that crap? Well, how is there a hole there? That is the unluckiest hole I've ever seen. How is there a hole? How? Where? Between the house? No. Between the market and the palisade? No. Oh, God, there's always a hole. There's always a hole. The longswords hit in higher numbers than knights ever could. They don't kill a lot yet. And they probably need to pull back from the TC fire. But life just got 10 times harder for blue. I thought blue had those walls down. Still has the fish boom. 16 fishing ships, guys. So we can't forget about that. And I'm actually impressed. I didn't think blue would necessarily use the fish boom this well. A lot of the other armies in the middle are getting picked off. But the villagers can go back to work. Look at how many fishing ships blue has. Great job at utilizing the map. But again, 0 farms. So one player is like turn this into Arabia, basically. And the other player is playing 4 lakes. Like there's a rule that you can't make farms or something. Post game. I think I'm gonna lean towards... If this was higher elo, I would lean towards the player with the fish and Byzantines. At this elo, I'm thinking the 2 TCs, farms, bit of map control might be a little bit stronger here, but we'll see. Bodkinera's in on the crossbowman. They can hit and run these long swords. Blue gets the pickoffs. Now, what you want to do in Blue's position is you just want to completely forget about fish now. You never want to think about it again. Blue's still doing that. And then you want to actually add farms with wood. This is already going to do so much for you. You need to focus your attention elsewhere. More longswords. We have Gambesons now coming in. And Arson for Spaz. Guys. Longsword hype. Let's go. But is that good against knights and crossbows? I think you need some siege in the mix, maybe. But at least the Pierce armor is higher now. One misstep from Blue, and these crossbows go down. Like, the micro has to be perfect. Also, I do really like the outpost. This Ville's still alive as well. Look at all the vision Blue has after building these buildings here. That's so good. Oh, man, that's a lot of long swords. With Arson, the archer range will go down pretty quick. That's a Byzantine archer range. That's almost down already. Nice job from Blue, though. Repairs come in. Crossbows come from behind. Yes, Spaz, you got to back away from here, my friend. You got to back away. And by back away, I mean never leave and keep attacking and break in. What? What? The spam is unreal. Crossbows should be great here, but just pure numbers. Red is through. Blue's like, what is happening right now? Are these Huskarls? How are they killing me? This shouldn't be a thing. And Spaz's eco is kind of cooking behind this. Let's not forget that, right? Eco is untouched. We've got 2 TCs always producing. Longswords have split up into different directions. Look how fast the tower goes down. Longswords, baby. More viable than ever. It's cheaper now. Arson is cheaper now. The movement speed is higher. And I think the way you can win the game is if you castle drop his face. Oh, yeah, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Spaz. That's such a risky spot, man. Like, next to the siege workshop is crazy. Blue's like, what more can I do? Getting ballistics and everything. Spaz. Just run in, I guess? I don't know. Okay, just run in. There we go. Well, I mean, Blue's microing. Blue's got the fish. Okay, Blue goes into the TC now. But if this castle goes up, Blue's in a horrible position. Even with the eco lead. And I think it will go up because the crossbows can't hop out. If they do, the longswords will be around. And Blue is probably like, are you kidding me right now? This castle's sick. It denies the main gold. It will go up. I'd love to see some samurai, honestly. And Spaz did that last time. Spaz played. Yeah, so now you mix in siege. Crazy. Okay, so what do you do in Blue's position? Well, Blue, you need to find stone. And you need a defensive castle somewhere. The one stone is here, so that's tough. The other stone is here, but that's maybe doable. Maybe. Obviously, Imp would be sick. That might not be super realistic, though. The siege workshop for Blue gets taken out. The thing about infantry, guys, is it's so cheap, you can just let them die, right? It's not... And as long as your eco is undisrupted, you could just continue to do this. Yes, they're slower. Yes, they don't have the stats of knights, but it's cheap, and you can break down buildings so fast now. That TC is a goner. I do actually think Spaz needs to chill, though. Like, that's enough crossbows now with ballistics. You're losing them at a rate where things could be getting too crazy for you. And then maybe focus a little bit more on eco. Speaking of eco, there's still a Vill here from Blue. And this Vill made a stable and is going to send knights into Spaz's eco. We'll see if that does anything. Spaz needs mangonels. You need mangonels on the front to keep pushing these buildings back. You'd push those crossbows. Great job from Mighty Space Fruit. I want to see, is Mighty Space Fruit fish trapping? Okay, there's a couple, but that's hard to do all of them. Here, the fish is getting inefficient. Here, the fish are not really active. So, the fishing eco isn't actually that good. Spaz reacted. Should red switch to samurai or are longswords better? Can I compare them? 70 HP, 10 attack for 60 HP, 9 attack. Yeah, I mean, samurai are better. But basically, it just comes down to if you need more production. One castle samurai production is pretty fast, though. Scorpions are here. Would have loved to see mangonels, honestly. 2 scorpions go down just like that against that many crossbows. Well played from blue, though. The Spaz is going to think, I need more scorpions. And there's another group of swordsmen headed this way. And I think this longsword has found the jackpot. Look at them march. Triumphantly. They know this game is theirs. Infantry is back. Maybe not at the highest elo. But, I mean, this is a pretty high freaking elo, man. 1600 elo for Mighty Space Fruit. And here comes Spaz. I think Spaz might drop another castle soon. This is full tournament energy, right? Tournament in front of the stream energy. No, don't attack the TC. Okay, well, that's not the best use of infantry. And crossbow number for Mighty Space Fruit. Still pretty good. Space Fruit needs imp right now. Oh, Blue says you okay. I'll give you that. Go ahead. You have that area. I'm going to take where you started. Bro. Spaz is crazy. 2 TCs, by the way. No 3 TC boom. Just staying on 2. Produce out of 2 TCs. And then go for longswords. But blue is going to counterattack now. All this pressure's at blue's base. Blue now is kind of protected. So since blue's somewhat protected, blue says, let's send these crossbows to the other side. It's a great play. This is a sick play. This is exactly what you needed. There's been no real threat to the enemy this whole time, which has been the biggest problem, which has allowed Spaz to focus on all of this. And this number of crossbows is undeniably better than longswords. So, yeah. Now, Blue, what you need right now, I know you can't hear me, but feel me in your bones. Drop a forward castle, okay? Sense my wisdom. Sense my ideas, okay? Wisdom sounds a little conceited. Because there's nothing here from red. Also, hello, villager. She built random houses over here as well. She's been everywhere. Big raid. Spaz is losing eco. And blue's adding the fish trap, so the fishing ships are actually doing okay. Can Spaz switch out of longswords now? Is that acceptable for Spaz? Because you have to. Spaz is selling wood and buying stone. For what, though? For a castle where? Defensive? Some crossbows go down to the TC. So many houses and buildings have gone down to these longswords and these rams. Spaz finds some gold over here, which is crucial. You really got to just stop build production at this point if you're blue and try and get imp. It's so cheap with Byzantines. Look at blue's vision on the map with all the houses and outposts. And blue is going to send those vills over to this gold now. What a game. Why do I think Spaz is going to push this castle right now? I think Spaz feels helpless because of the crossbow. Oh, okay. Ooh, wait a second. Blue's going to drop a castle. Blue can see that castle. Blue can see that castle. The houses. The houses. The houses changed the game. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I screamed. I don't think blue sees it. But that's a perfect castle from Mighty Space Fruit. Then you can take the gold. If you go imp now, it's over. Unless... unless There is a sneaky ram push on your castle. I mean, if Spaz could take out a Byzantine castle with this, I think he just wins the finals outright, right? The other games don't matter. That's a Byzantine castle. This isn't just some Walmart castle over here. This is some good stuff. And yeah, that's not going to happen. 2 rams. Okay, 3rd ram's on the way now. That's ambitious. And a couple cataphracts can come out to help. And blue should be okay here, I think. It'll get scrappy. It'll get messy. But Mighty Space Fruit in and out of the castle. And makes pretty quick work of everything here. Could even see murder holes, too. That'd probably be a good bet. Still, this crossbow group is here. And the GG is called! The GG is called! Space Fruit weathers the storm! Bro! What a great job, man. I thought he was so dead. Losing the TCs, losing the whole main base to that push, and just kept moving, kept relocating. And then the counterattack was the biggest thing. That was so good. I think we saw the strength of infantry right now, but we saw the weakness as well, which is why I'm a really big fan of the balance, because it was clearly very good at destroying buildings and being a low-cost unit to do what it did. But at a certain point, when there's this many archers, infantry is not the play. And I think if the one thing I could say with Spaz is this Siege Workshop, it didn't add enough for me. The Scorpions, I would have loved to see mangonels instead, because you have the higher potential for the big shots. Probably wasn't expecting blue to focus down 2 Scorpions like blue did. Blue's a very confident archer player. But holy crap. Yeah, mangonels here. Blue probably never even thinks to counterattack because blue never gets his castle up in the first place, which is why blue counterattack. You could also make a mangonel at home, but the game got very messy, and they were always at the limit with resources. So, also, like, Blue's Ville, where is she? Is she still alive? That Ville, building houses and outposts all around the map. Guys, this is some old school stuff. Players used to do this in, like, 2014. Just random outposts and houses and buildings all around. So, that's smart with Byzantines. Like, gives you so much vision. You know, you have more understanding on what's happening in the game. And yeah, in our finals, 1600 elo bracket, Mighty Space Fruit takes the first game. Apparently last time they played against each other, Space Fruit won, so Space Fruit's maybe the favorite. He is also the higher elo player right now. There's the KD, and there's the res collected. Food was much higher for Spaz, but didn't have the stone and gold, it seems. The villagers mining gold top right. I think this is another Ville. I think this Ville has been mining gold the whole game after building the dock. I don't think that's actually the same Ville. That was just another sneak Ville. There definitely was one. She walked through here. Here, we could look real quick. There. Where'd she end up? What happened to her? Did she live a peaceful life? Okay, well, she ended up on a farm. That's not a bad way to end up. Now, I'm kind of tempted. Is she one of... Oh my god, she's one of the starting Villes? How early was she birthed? Bro. She was born at 10 pop. And she did all of that. That might be a video right there. I don't know if I'll think of that, but that might be a video. Okay. Anyways, we got more games. So, game 2, Spaz took the first game. Or, sorry, Spaz didn't take the first game. Space Fruit did. And we're catching up to live time. I advertised that Spaz is a stable player. And we have the Hindustanis now. So, I would expect some camels, maybe. Space Fruit has gone for the Persians. Great civ on the map. I think it's one of the best civs on the map, but I think Hindustanis are as well. This map is tough. You got wood in the back corner. A lot more wood for Spaz. This can happen. So slightly easier for Spaz in that regard. But basically, long term, you need to control this hill. And it gets very difficult to stay safe and have resources if you just wall up at home. So we usually see scouts here. Yeah, Chad, if you have questions, ask. The elo for the players is at the top. Sorry. And this is, again, community tournament. So, welcome, everybody. Thank you, Fun Sponge, for the 91 months. Holy crap. Also, Sally, thank you for the 69 months. Nice. And Sally, thanks for helping out with this event as well. Sally, one of the admins for this. Any first timers here? Someone just said bless you as their first message. Thank you. What's up, Grutus? What's up, E-Trains? Yeah, 91 months is a long time. I've done a really bad job thanking subs today. I have this awful problem where I focus on casting way too much. It's actually bad. It's fine during big events. Obviously, we have the viewers you guys want to show. But I actually miss some people, so I'm sorry about that. If I miss you, yell at me. What's up, Estalia? Welcome. Spruce, thank you for the 30 months. Welcome back. Oh, for a second, I thought Space Fruit was going to dock here. Yeah, if we have any mods that could do channel points, I know all the mods are like Spider-Man memeing right now. And they're all pointing at each other because they don't want to do the bets. But if we have any mods that could potentially do the channel point bets, that would be very nice. Let the people bet with their currency. Yeah, you do have a pond with 2 shorefish, which usually you mill, and Space Fruit runs right into the TC. That hurts. Also, Spaz is here and can chase that down. And Spaz missed it. Yep, Spaz missed it. Okay. The build is definitely a bit faster for Space Fruit, but Space Fruit is Persians. It should be easier, right? TC works faster, and you start with the extra res. So that's the nice thing about Persians here. I believe it should be a stable. Space Fruit should definitely play around locking down this gold, because this gold's a little too far. So all future houses and ranges should go up around this, in my opinion. Wouldn't mind skipping horse collar on this map. When resources are so tight, you only had 1 elephant. I think that's completely fine if you want to snag it as well. Seems reasonable. And Spaz misclicked, went for an archer range, and to go for a stable. Spaz did the same thing when Spaz played Ace in the like quarterfinals or whatever that we covered. Doesn't really build up buildings in front of critical res for long term. Just kind of building up in the back. Never went for a full wall either, which I think a lot of other players like to do. But does make a lot of army. And with Hindustanis, that can be good. Break down the buildings faster. T90, is there any way you can put the map name somewhere at the top? I always find myself guessing the map. Lime Wookie, I'm going to say this, and I hope you don't feel silly, but it is directly next to the mini-map. In quite large letters, it's Kilimanjaro, and it's always there. I can't move it anywhere else. But it has been there forever. So if you've missed that, it seems like you did. T90 blinds in chat, I suppose. It's all right. Nobody's laughing with you. We're laughing at you. Should I enlarge the font? Yeah. Yeah, do you have issues looking at your minimap in-game? That's just a general tip. I've never seen you play, but I feel as though you maybe don't look at your minimap enough. It's all good. You're not the only... Like, so many people ask information that is on screen. We've had 4 people ask what elo these players are. It's in 2 different areas on the screen. So, it's all good. AT90, is there any way you can put the player name somewhere at the top? I always find myself guessing the players. Yeah, that's not possible for us. Sorry. Can't put player names on screen. Big attack here, man. Mighty Space Fruit is playing like a beast right now. The mighty part of the name is accurate. And seems to be playing very confidently as well. Spaz had an issue with scouting in the previous game, and it's the same deal. Spaz does not know where the enemy is, and Spaz is F-pathing. Well, I agree that pathing is awful, so I'll you know, give Spaz the benefit of the doubt that maybe there was an issue there. But this isn't a pathing issue. This is a scouting issue, and this is becoming a problem because blue is walling up. And a lot to manage. Farm transitions need to come in. Both players have done a pretty decent job. Wood situation for blue is not great. And that's not common. Other maps, you're usually fine on that one lumber camp for a while. So. Rocket Star, what's up? Has been watching on years for YouTube. Watching a live stream feels amazing. Welcome. Salutes in chat, please. And hi, I'm News. The thing about this scout rush, it's so late and coming from such a weird angle, it might actually do something. Because blue just thinks there's no scouts at all. Blue's like, I guess I win I guess I'm up 2-0 then. Like, this is amazing for me. Come on, Spaz. You can find... Spaz doesn't even know what direction to go. Please keep going this way. Don't go to the south. Don't second guess yourself. Go, 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 go. There we go. But blue's pretty well walled. Seems to notice this. I'm definitely seeing the APM difference here. This is... And maybe it's just like... I think Spaz does a really good job early castle because it's like cav spam and TCs. Blue even transitioning into some archers. This could get dangerous. There's an archer there. Should be protected by the scouts. The fastest versus slowest person in the group. Well, isn't... Yeah, like Spaz was slow against a lot of other players and still won. But I'm impressed with blue. Just a lot of the tiny things. Feels very good. It feels better than an 80 elo gap right now. But I'm not... We've only seen one game. Like 1 1/10 of a game, hopefully. This is what the archers are here for. Now, my suggestion would be you might even be able to skip fletching. A lot of people are going to make the archers and you want fletching. That's completely fine. But, I mean... You just need a couple of them in there to threaten spears, and the scouts do the rest of the job. Nice job there from Spaz. Spaz is just going to focus down those archers. This is part of why skipping that fletching upgrade can sometimes be kind of nice. Because if the micro's not perfect, you're going to lose the fights anyways, right? That's a bad fight for blue. I'm still not used to the animations yet. Nice defense there from Spaz, and look at Spaz. Doesn't transition into much more than just a couple scouts and spears. Defends from the attack and on the way to Castle Age. Blue's still nowhere close to clicking up. One of the archers and the scouts to combine here. Hasn't really been able to make that happen. I think Spaz has to make a tower here, though. A tower or a bunch more scouts. This could become a problem here. Tundra Blitz says, I've been watching you since you worked the aisles at Best Buy, T90 Creep. That is creepy, bro. I did work at Best Buy. I did not stream back then. What are you, standing in the corner, creeping? I mean, I've told stories I worked there, so... you know... But... It's alright. You've subbed for how long? 4 years? It's no longer creepy. That's just normal. The creepiness is gone. And those were the days, bro. Those were the days. So Spaz is just not going to panic, apparently. And finally pulls away from the gold. T90, it's your old boss. They need you to cover tomorrow. My old boss was sick. He doesn't work there anymore. I would definitely work for him if, you know, the whole streaming thing falls flat. And, you know, he's still the same person because it's been 12 years. Oh, man, Spaz is worried. I think it is possible to come back from this, though. Because archers are getting picked off. And the camels can come out of the stables. And then Spaz can drop TCs. And even though it's looked worrying, Spaz has just pulled the vills away. Only ever lost one. Every archer's going to go down. And the TC is going to go up. That's a perfect town center, guys. This is an example of a 1600 trying to play like a pro. Now, you're never going to get better if you don't try it, right? But I think literally just 2 archers, no upgrades, and then you just focus primarily on controlling those units could be better for someone in Blue's position here. Now Blue's in panic mode. That castle age time is crazy. Just crazy. A crossbow's not a bad move. Long term against camels. But this map, man, not looking very nice here for Mighty Space Fruit. Also didn't wall using this wood line. Spaz loves to boom and spam the cav. That Vil has a death wish. And there it goes. Vil's dead. Now, castle in the middle or siege in the middle would be sick here. And if you get a castle as the Hindustanis, you can add Ghulams against the archers. Oh god, there's another hole. Units run through. There are some spears in there. But Spaz loves to do this. Spaz just runs in, attacks. Second game in a row, there's a hole in Blue's wall. Not actually too bad. Didn't lose too much there at all. Camels are just not very good against archers. And now Bodcanera's on the way. And now a second TC. See, I think this TC is because Blue is like, has the resources for a TC and doesn't have the scouting here. The goal has to be to get here. Like a TC here would be sick. Near the wood, near the stone, near the gold. Mainly light cav right now for Spaz. Which is the better choice if your opponent has shown the archers. And we have a close game. Wood is a problem for Mighty Space Fruit. And there's no pill to solve that in Age of Empires. There's a cheat code, but we're not playing with cheats, so sad times. Yeah, look at this, man. Villagers just chopping that tree, chopping these trees, and then even this isn't that efficient. Spaz just waiting. Spaz really needs +2 armor right now. I think the plan is win the next fight, castle in the middle. Has to be, right? It's almost like Spaz is waiting for it. Okay. There's some action there. Here goes the army from Spaz. If Spaz notices that, the cav could come back. If Spaz didn't notice that and drops a castle here, no! No, 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 no. Batman, delete it. Delete it. Notice it. Spaz. Spaz. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. The army can come home. Spaz didn't notice. Oh my god, what the? Spaz, just relax. It's all good. You're fine. Just wait a second. Just wait a sec. No, 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 no. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Just wait it out. Wait it out. Wait it out. Wait for your friends. Just chill. You got it. There we go. That should be a clear. Blue's Archer Micro is great, but if that TC garrisons, goodbye crossbows. Spaz is interesting, man. Like, things go wrong pretty consistently for Spaz, and Spaz just keeps coming. Like, I think it's the Vil production. It's how fast Castle Age tends to be at all times. Now you've got a big army. Now you can mix in Ghulams against crossbows. This becomes complicated for Blue now. And both players still on stone to eventually build a castle. He's a Spaz T90? Yeah, apparently. And an adventurer. This is true. Whoa, what should Blue make right now? Also, Hoyo and Humanoid. You guys are like... You guys are having a good time, huh? Chat's chill, and the Hoyo and Humanoid are just back and forth here, having their own little convo. Yeah, they're too comfortable. Is that a thing? I think that is a thing. Oh my god, dude. That castle's crazy. I love this elo, man. This final has been great. So many crazy things happening. I think there's still... No, there's no hole there. With Blue's base, you never know. Now, that castle doesn't solve the wood problems. It doesn't protect any of your main eco. But it is near the stone and the gold. So I guess Blue didn't want to go this direction. And the Ghoulems aren't here yet. They're on the way. The Light Cav, they want to dive on this. No +2 armor. Kind of hurts. That's not a horrible engagement so far for Spaz, but the castle's going to be an issue. You have to stay away from that thing. Again, Spaz is slower APM, so I don't think Spaz notices yet. Spaz definitely doesn't notice. Yeah, Spaz doesn't know. Spaz is looking at home. Spaz is doing some other things. Now realizes the castle is up. And the castle is the key there. So advantage Space Fruit. But the Cav are coming in now. Just passing. No way that's the Light Cav he converts. Oh my god, that's so lucky. Of all the Light Cav he clicks the one that Spaz leaves behind. And hold up. The Light Cav are getting into the eco. Blue's having a really rough time. And more Ghoulems can be produced from Spaz back at home. Yeah, this castle's so sick. But it didn't protect any of this. The real issue right now for Spaz is Spaz's army just keeps dying. It raids, and then it dies. There's been no consistent army. What? Spaz just can't help himself. Spaz has to push. Spaz, my friend, you are fine. It might not feel fine, but you can bring your army to the hill and castle drop your opponent's face. You don't need to elephant push this castle. Clearly, Spaz feels as though that needs to happen. It's a lot of food to make armored elephants. This could be pretty epic. Ghoulam and armored elephants and camels. Does the castle go down, chat? I don't think Blue will expect it. Blue's going to outpost again. All around the map. Didn't see the siege workshops. If Blue just made knights right now, if Blue went all in knights with the crossbows, Blue will be fine. And Blue just doesn't know. The other thing, too, is if the crossbows die before the knights come out, Blue's not fine. Like, these crossbows could die to the Ghoulems right now. There's another castle for Spaz. Double castle production. You need at least 6 elephants here to be comfortable, in my opinion. Blue has no clue what's coming. Blue won't have any way to know what's coming. Just sees camels and Ghoulems. Doesn't know the armored elephants are here. You need more, Spaz. You need more. I don't know. Grand Trunk Road's on the way. The Golden Come gets a little bit faster. The Grand Trunk Road doesn't help the trunks of your elephants hit faster. Up the road. I don't know. Okay, Blue sees it. Blue's not out of position. Here we go. The trunks are grand. The army's out of position. Save your elephants! Save your elephants! What type of establishment are we running here? Protect the elephants, man. Okay, pathing. We're going to blame pathing. Camels are here. The elephants are tanky. Oh my goodness. Blue in and out of that castle. Blue in a panic. Villagers will die. The knights will die. The elephants are here. They're not all attacking the castle, though. Blue, I would highly suggest murder holes. That's a very good tech in this scenario. No joke. The elephants are sadly just standing there. And I mean, it's not a fun time for Blue. Blue is losing everything. Blue is losing everything. Nice job to go in and out of the castle, though. That's really nice. But the castle's going down to these elephants. Are there more? No. Spaz, come back. That's just so. This is why you need a couple extras. When you go for a push like this, you have to assume a certain amount of your rams or elephants are going to go down. You just plan for that. Is this working? Go, my son. Thrust your trunks in, your, what? Never mind. It's almost working. Okay, backup elephants on the way. Backup golems on the way. That was so close, man. So close, but now there's no support for these. And the GG's called because Spaz figures, I've lost everything. There's no way I win this. And I can understand it because it was such a crazy investment. And blue has a position on the hill. It feels like from red's position, that there's no way to win if this push dies. Honestly, it's probably not over. There are a couple golems here that could maybe get some raids. That did do some damage. But there's like... Oh, well, actually, yeah, Spaz is almost out of gold. And barely has wood in the back. And yeah, just doesn't have the map control. There's 2 instances now with Spaz's all-ins. Where if Spaz has a little bit more, it works. Both games. Both games. It's not that the plan is bad. It just, you need a little bit more with the Rams, right? So whatever that number is that's naturally coming to Spaz's head to go for this push, you need to add 2 to 3 to it, and you win the fight. And in this case, it felt like the elephant number was too low. It was 4 elephants. First off, they weren't always attacking. But even if that's not the case, you get 2 more elephants in that group. This castle maybe falls down. And you're feeling pretty good about the position there. Space Fruit, a little bit faster from what the APM shows. Super clean transitions. And I love, like, the outposts from Space Fruit were solid to have understanding on the map. And the switch into Knights was such a good call there once you got the crossbows. This player feels like they play a lot of Arabia and could really improve. So Spaz may be a little frustrated. Obviously losing these 2 games. It felt like both games were very close. I mean, game 1 was incredibly entertaining. But now we're in game number 3, and it's a best of 5. Spaz, of course, knows everyone is watching, so imagine the pressure if you were down 2 games and you knew all of chat was watching. Especially if you're active in the chat, too. You guys have reputations to uphold. There are people in my chat who, based on their chat messages, must be like 2.9k elo. Funnily enough, I've never really double-checked. I'm not sure how good they actually are. But Spaz, in this case, kind of backing up his chat. We have Spanish for Spaz. And interesting little detail here. This is Zong, and if you chop through these trees, you can get to these little shrines that can only produce priests, which are 75 gold, so that's specific to this map. But Spaz built the lumber camp 1 tile away intentionally to chop through faster. So that feels like Spaz is planning on getting the relics then, or using the priest in some way. And then we have Burgundians for Space Fruit, who have a very clean economy and are better in like more of a light cav, boom, and adapt environment. And so far, Space Fruit has felt... Space Fruit kind of plays meta, from what I can tell. Has drafted based on the meta. Burgundians were picked a lot in the main event of Titans League. Byzantines were, Persians were. So it seems pretty comfortable in that style. Farland is a 3k elo viewer, no actual games played. Well, we can't VIP anyone unless they have super high IQ and super high elo potential. Those are actually the rules. I don't know if people are aware of this. So Farland, you're good. You're good. You don't have to play games, I know. Definitely was not paid off to say that. Saseki, what's up? Thanks for 53. Yeah, there's like... This would probably be bad because I think singling out one viewer who makes one comment on the internet for a video is just bad practice. But there are times when I'm casting, like, let's say players who are 50th in the world, okay? And they're nervous and they're playing insanely well, but then like one bad thing happens, right? And someone says, one random chatter out of thousands is like, what an idiot. Or like, this guy sucks, right? I'm really tempted when that happens because I'm like, come on, man, have some perspective. That's what I want to say. I'm tempted to immediately download that person's games and compare. Let's look at the person he called an idiot Let's look at their own games. Let's but like obviously part of it is it's okay for people to react and have emotion when watching a stream, right? I would prefer people don't be like, you know, border into disrespectful wherever you may find that line is, but I've never actually do that. But again, there's that part of me that's like, that'd be satisfying, you know? T90, to be fair, do you remember that Jibbitong versus Gemjack game in Wandering Warriors Cup where Jibbitong TC'd the center on Golden Island? Well, yeah. Lack of preparation's a little bit different. That was crazy. Oh wow, so Space Fruit, fast bit axe, right? And already has made the first monk, or sorry, technically it's a priest. And now is going to be able to make a second one. So this is fast feudal-ish. This is not a fast castle. Rushing to eco upgrades. And with the faster feudal would win the scout war here. So Spaz is going to have to be careful. When I see Spanish, I think conquistadors. And Spaz is kind of all in, so I wouldn't mind seeing Spaz go for conquistadors here. With conquistadors, it doesn't really matter how good or bad your eco is. That unit is so strong, so. Bruce's hair is washed. Now go spectate one of my games right now. That's a strategy to get me to cast your game right there. the new strategy. Be disrespectful to someone, and then I go look at your games. Finally, T90 looks at my games. There's the first relic. And there's Feudal Age for Space Fruit. So Space Fruit just patrolled the scout along the relics in the middle. So if anything shows up there, the scout might find it. Wow, and we also have a stable. So it's going to be scouts, and Space Fruit wants all the relics. But you can't put the relics inside of these buildings. It's more confusing now because the most recent patch actually gave some civs this architecture for their monasteries. But this is actually functionally different than a monastery. And it's the same with these dudes. These priests. Still no vills on stone for Spaz. So maybe Spaz just booms. Spaz probably destined to lose the scout. Because Space Fruit is faster to Feudal Age. It got the early hits. And Spaz will lose the scout. So this is a great start for Blue. Really good start. Nishar says, will we be able to get rigged into the Lel Marathon? I'm open to ideas. Obviously, the Low Elo Legend Marathon, I want to be a bit more special than just the standard Low Elo stream. Part of that is going to be a really long stream. What the? Dude. That's a strat I've never seen before. You can hide the scout behind the thing? Wow, man. Pros and Titans League didn't know what they were doing. Was that intentional? That was next level stuff. Hiding it behind the structure. Anyways, back to, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, if you have ideas for the Low Elo Marathon, let me know. Part of my plans is hopefully to have some, like, people join. Have some personalities cast Low Elo that maybe don't usually do so or haven't done so in a while, so... I want to do some giveaways here or there on each marathon stream as well, and just make the stream special. But I don't think rigging where I like cast someone by request would necessarily be a great fit. But villagers are on stone, and Spaz is going to drop that castle. But does Spaz know there's multiple scouts out in the map? Because if Spaz doesn't know that, and Spaz says, I'm feeling bad about myself. This has, been difficult. Let's just go super aggressive, and once a forward castle, it could be GG. It's definitely going to be conks, though. Has to be, with this many vills on stone. When is the Lel Marathon? I haven't announced it yet. It'll be May. I got to let you guys know when ASAP. I made the mistake of, I'm kind of planning beyond that with things. I've got some other event stuff I'm hearing about. I also am basing some of this on Age of Empires 2 tournament calendar as a whole, which there's not a lot of info on certain things, so I'm doing a little bit of waiting. So there may be a little marathon is what you're saying? No. There will be. Oh my god. Bro. Oh, Spaz has spears. Spaz has spears. This is okay then. If Spaz has spears, this is completely fine. This is a great play then. And what is the reaction now from Blue? Oh my god, Blue's relics are right there. Blue is dropping the relics right next to that castle foundation. If this is the castle that gets built, Blue will have collected all the relics for Spaz to steal. And wait, can Spaz see them? Spaz, build it a little bit closer for me, if you don't mind. Ah, okay, well, honestly, if Blue has any monks around, Blue needs to pick them up and run. This is a great idea from Spaz. And the idea is the Vills are going to build the castle, and then they're going to take the gold. So panic time if you're Blue. Now, one detail that could have really helped Blue here is understanding that there is actually stone on the outside. This stone might be difficult to take for very long, but you should have the better economy. You're hoping to get the relics. Going to stone yourself to eventually get your own castle and defense is good. And then monks to hopefully convert the conchs is also good. I don't think Blue is underreacting at all. I think if there's anything Blue could do a bit better is these walls could be a bit closer to the castle. But yeah, I think walling behind is a necessary step here. One relic gets picked up. And imagine if that castle was placed on the gate. Spaz didn't know about the stone, but Spaz knew about the relics. I feel like those relics should never be taken here. That's one thing Spaz could look back at. Oh, conchs are out. Here they go. And the priest is dead, and the Vills are here as well. And the conquistadors are through. Honestly, if the next unit that Spaz makes is a petard, and it is, he could be through. But honestly, even without that, you could take down the palisade wall. Monks are the key here. 9 range. The conchs only have 6. And spearmen are going to come. There's the petard. Please don't petard a palisade wall on 19 HP. Please do not petard a palisade wall on 19 HP. It's 19 HP. Oh, God. And those conquistadors missed the volley in Blue. Playing a dangerous game here, but keeping the units out for a little bit longer. Where's the petard? No, we got to make another petard. The nerves are so high. The stress is unreal. But nice damage control from Blue. Let's give Blue credit here. Conch gets converted. Monk goes down, though. That's a fine trade. And now another petard's on the way. Is that even a hole, by the way? I guess it is. Oh, now the petard can't fit, and it might aggro the other house. Oh, wait, no, it went down. But is there a hole? There was no hole in the first place. Oh, my freaking God. It kind of looked like there was. Okay, now we need another petard. This is getting ridiculous. Meanwhile, Blue, by the way, moved everything off of stone in a panic from before. So it's two TCs, but the conchs are going to be through. It's a lot of pressure. And the eco's not exactly efficient when you've got conquistadors on your face either. I like the thought process from Spaz to just keep sending it. That's what you need. Sure, you might lose a conch or two, but just run in. Conquistadors kill so fast. This is completely fine, in my opinion, for this rank. Run in, see a monk, kill a monk. Spaz comeback story. Here we go. Into the opponent's base, camping the wood, and camping the gold. And, I mean, guys, look at Spaz's eco. I was not expecting this. Spaz has got a crazy economy. 2 TCs. Just added the second one, but the farms are great. And this is tough for Blue. Blue cannot really think of what more to try here. Only was able to get 1 relic. Does have more monks in queue. But the amount of idle time's insane. And res collected is normally much higher for the Burgundians. That's just not the case. So I'd say the way Blue comes back is with proper conversions. And the way Spaz throws is by losing units to the TC. And, okay, one conversion there. And another conversion comes in. Yeah, this is doable for blue. And by the way, like, I need to... The reason for that is because Spaz got a lead, and so he focuses at home. Or he looks somewhere else. He's like, I'm fine. It's so easy to run into TCs there and think, okay, I'm good. Let's look away. And then by the time you look back, things fall apart. And Spaz says F monks. One's in chat if you agree with that. Not a big fan of monks, apparently. But there is a tech called Devotion, which is pretty sick against that. Also, Spaz is the biggest Ram lover I've ever met. But Spaz, you need to learn about another unit. It's called a Mangonel, my friend. You can destroy buildings. You can still, like, hit units. Spaz is in love with Rams. And it's going to go Ram, Conk to try and finish this one. Blue will try and drop a castle soon. Where will Blue drop it? Probably right here on the front. All right. Space Fruit's got to be like, you're kidding me, right? Like, not again. Another game, more Rams from Spaz. Stable should fall. House should fall. Blue's dropping a castle now. The Kongs could run in. I don't know how good Blue's Monk Micro is with big groups. 1, 2 is targeted. Yeah, those Rams are not taking out that castle, dude. This is desperation for Spaz. Desperation. Doesn't like the monks. Some more conversions will follow. The Rams are still there. Spaz is still fine if he doesn't take out this castle. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to call the GG. He doesn't have to stay here. He doesn't have to stay here. But he thinks he has to take the castle. I mean, maybe it works. It's kind of crazy. Blue is panicking. There's still 2 Rams. The Kongs are killing everything. There's another Ram coming in. This is going to work. This is going to work. The TC's not garrisoned, so the Kongs aren't getting hit by any town center fire. Kongs get converted. Kongs dying to castle fire now. It's not going to work. Same thing I said last time. Literally the same thing. If Spaz had 2 more Rams every time, it's 3-0 victory for Spaz. But right now, it's 2-0 for Blue, and Blue holds. And Blue says, bleep, bleep game. Red says, bleep, bleep game. We never know what the chat filter, what Spaz actually said. Okay? So, that might have been a very salty comment. That might have also been an amazing game. Or really fun game. Or love this game, because the chat filter can't be trusted. But maybe he's frustrated. Also, Spaz is kind of winning. Like, it's not significant, but Spaz is kind of winning. You know, I obviously lost a lot of units there, but this game isn't over. I just think mentally for Spaz, Spaz is like, I can't come back from this. And just one of those days. Just one of those days. Poor Spaz. Great. Congratulations to Mighty Space Fruit. Mighty Space Fruit had to go through a lot to get these victories, but very well played. I really liked a lot of the situational awareness from Mighty Space Fruit throughout these games. Good transitions, fun games. The scoreline absolutely doesn't tell the story because Spaz was ahead in at least, well, 2 of those games. Game 1 was absolutely ridiculous. And thanks to both of these 2 for playing and everyone who played in the group. But, yeah, like, I think like with the Ram thing, to take out a castle against someone who repairs, you know, makes a couple extra military units, you're always going to need at least 5, which feels like a ton, but 5 is like a safe bet. In my opinion, 3 is a little low. It was the same thing with the elephants before. This castle went down to 2200 HP. The other castle in the other game was also 2200 HP, I think. So, GG. Also, Spaz didn't really have Imprez, because when you resign, everything that you've queued up comes back to you. So realistically, when Spaz resigned, Spaz probably had like 250 food or something like that. Okay, our base is giving me stats. Spaz says the units would not move. Okay, so Spaz was annoyed with like the units getting stuck there. All right, our base stats. We have T90 Community League Cup in stats. What have we got here? This is sick, dude. Did Bergwin make this? Bergwin made this. Okay. So, welcome to T90 Titans League Community Cups in Stats website. This website collects all the statistics you could ever want about the tournament in one place. There were 384 sets played over the course of the tournament. 1,115 games played over the course of the tournament. Someone legitimately asked me, T90, are you casting every single game of this tournament when this started? T90, you're going to cast every one, right? 1,155 games. Now, this may not even be accurate with the series we just did. Also, I'm not. Sorry. Okay. We've got draft data here. This chart is showing the number of times each map was picked during the draft. Note that any map not picked was banned, so not a separate chart. So there's a separate chart. Okay. So a lot of rocky forest, a lot of fortified clearing, lots of cross, ravines, jungle swamp, and Pacific Islands were at the bottom. A little surprised by that. Slightly surprised by that. I was very surprised at how many evacuations were picked. All right, civs. Wait, don't look. Chat, which civilization do you think is the least picked? There might be civs that were never picked, actually. Bulgarians, okay. Burmese, Celts, Aztecs. I think someone looked. It was Burmese. I think you looked. Zook, did you look? You definitely cheated. But yeah, Burmese. 10 times, though. 10 times is still pretty damn high. What's at the top? Lithuanians, Hindustanis, Byzantines, Persians, Italians, Saracens. I like how much Teutons and Celts were picked. Ethiopians pretty high up there. We got Cumans in there a bunch. All right, Civ bans. Which Civ was banned the most? Ooh, which Civ does like all Elos hate the most? Ah, that's such a tricky one. Oh, Mongols. Yeah. Mongols is good. Maybe Goths? Maybe Goths. Mongols number one. And then Georgians. Obviously Georgians. I mean, in pro games, Georgians is just banned way more than any other Civ. At least recently. Okay, Mongols, Georgians, way higher. And then Persians, then Byzantines, then Hindustanis. Okay, makes sense. All right. Aztecs least banned, yes. Okay, so we know which maps were picked in drafts, but which ones were actually played? Oh, the other one wasn't played? Okay, Rocky Forest, Cross, Fortified Clearing, Evacuation, Acropolis. So somewhat consistent with what we had. Number of times civs were played. So the other ones were draft. Lithuanians at the top. Burmese at the bottom, but 6. Actually, I think I picked Burmese once on one of my drafts. I don't remember if I played them. Which civ is the best? Oh, the win rate. The win rate. Okay, give me best win rate civilization. Looks like this is at 60. Oh, God, I spoiled it. I didn't know it would show the civ name when I hovered over it. Okay, guess number 2, chat. It's not Hindustanis. I just spoiled it. What was tied with Hindustanis? I'm going to go Persians. I'm going to go torn between Persians and Byzantines. It is Dravidians? What? What? Okay. Dravidians, OP, then Poles? Wow, okay. Then Persians, then Lithuanians, then Britons. The lowest was Koreans and Mayans and Franks and Spanish. Oh my God, all my old favorites just suck. Armenians, Ethiopians. Okay, all right. Ooh, game length. We had... Oh, number of games by length. Well, how many did we have? We had 14 over 90 minutes. I must have been a lot of Cryptics games and Emu games. Okay. Oh, Burmese had 0 wins in that? Oh, interesting. Okay. Who's the fastest player in the tournament? We can see the EAPM over the brackets. Ooh, this is fun. So Obsidian is the top league. Who do we have in there? Oh, it shows their names. Ensberg. Ensberg, I think, lost in the semis. Where am I in here? Oh, God. Oh, there I am. 67. Damn, I was fast that day. Does it have every day, or is that an average? Oh, nope. There's my other days. 56, 53, 52. Oh, God. 48. Disaster. Okay, but who's this guy? I know Pig in Copper was faster than everyone in Obsidian League. Who's this person? Tree Fitty. Tree Fitty, 100 APM in Tin League. What elo is that? Isn't that like 1500? So Tree Fitty was the fastest. 87 elo for Grape Juice in Pebble League. Here, I want to compare. The lowest league is Dirt. The fastest player was Campwell. This is like 600 elo. 61 elo. And what's mine? What's my... not elo, APM. I was 58 there. So speed doesn't matter. What we learned is speed doesn't matter. What? I had no idea I would look at this data and feel so bad about myself. Holy crap. No offense, Dirt League players, but... who's the lowest? Griffin. Griffin, I love you, bro. Griffin, speed does matter a little bit. Griffin, don't unsub. That's just a joke. You were an easy target. Okay. All right, and there's the data. There we are. Thanks for playing, everybody. It was sick. I don't think we have any info right now on future community tournaments, but basically, if you want to play in these, we have a Community Cup Discord. You can use, I think, the TTLC command to join the Discord, and we'll be running future community tournaments. The next one will be a little bit smaller. Yeah, the next one will be a little bit smaller and faster. It won't be quite as involved as the TTLC one. We will be doing some different events. Spice it up with some fun maps. And yeah, check it out if you're interested. And everyone who played, and even though I didn't like cast us as much as I would have loved, it was cool to see just how many people were involved, man. We had people casting it. We had people playing. We had some friends made, and I watched a lot of games as well. It was always cool to see people trying out strategies and testing some things. So